Hello everyone and welcome to Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. In the news, the Rotary Club of Sulphur Springs met Thursday and distributed funds to 20 local organizations and scholarship money to 6 students. The funds were raised at the recent Claws for a Cause event. Students receiving scholarship money included Amy Sprague, Carissa Carter, Peyton Baugh, Kelsey Horton, Madeline Ray, and Caitlin Williams. The Sulphur Springs Public Library attracted a crowd for the kickoff of the annual summer reading program at the library Thursday evening. Outside the library were a game truck, a petting zoo, face painting, as well as hot dogs and soft drinks. 277 kids showed up. Summer reading events will be going on through the end of July at the library. Children will be encouraged to read and keep a book log. You can find out more at the library. The Dairy Festival Board wants you to know about a new route for the Dairy Festival Parade coming up on Saturday, June the 8th. With Conley Street under construction, the parade will now start at Kids Kingdom in Buford Park. The route will go left on League Street and then right on Houston. The parade will turn right on Church and then travel to the downtown plaza. After a ride on Jefferson, the route will continue with a left south on Gilmer and then will end up, as usual, around Lee Street. The board also announced the dates for the Dairy Festival Carnival this year. They will be Wednesday, June 12th through Saturday, June 15th.
If you want to get the real flavor of how Hopkins County used to be, plan to attend the Mahoney Homecoming on Sunday, June 9th. There's going to be food, a history program, and a lot more. Let's find out more from Jerry Voss.
Yes, we have June 9th, we have the Mahoney Cemetery Association 70th Homecoming. We have the Mahoney 70th Homecoming on June the 9th, excuse me.
Okay, 70th anniversary, and you were telling me a whole bunch of stuff about the beginnings of the Mahoney Church and Cemetery area and the heritage behind all that, and it's important. It's important to the people who live at Mahoney.
Yes.
But it's important to all of us because it's our history, too.
This is the thing about it's our heritage and everything, and, you know, the thing is, 70 years ago on the 9th, my mother, Louise Voss, and Dennis and L.B. Jordan's mother, Miss Lucille Jordan, they decided that they ought to have a homecoming. We ought to have a homecoming. So they just said, well, let's everybody just bring some, bring your fried chicken and your potato salad and your coconut pies and let's have a homecoming and everything. And at that time, there were 2 churches out there in Mahoney. There was the Baptist church and the Methodist church. And that was like, say, 70 years ago this coming next week and everything. We're real proud of that.
Well, the whole complex, which is a piece of land there on 69, is that right?
Yes.
At Mahoney. If you haven't been to Mahoney, you may have to drive through some water sometimes, but and we'll talk about
it. It has been known to flood, yes.
The Mahoney Methodist Church is there and the cemetery beside it.
Yes, that's correct.
And it's not right on 69, but you have to just turn.
So 1537, really, is what it is.
It's a very short distance, 1537.
About a couple hundred yards and everything.
Yeah, you'll see it. It's lovely. The church is big and tall and beautiful.
Well, thank you. The thing about that church, when we were talking about this, it was as they started building on the church in 1919. So 100 years this year is when they started building on that Methodist church, and they finished it in 21.
Well, it took longer for people to hand build back then.
Oh yeah, you better believe it.
And we were talking also about the importance of the cemetery in a community. Mahoney had a school and the churches.
Oh, we had Colonel Mahoney came back and he bought the ranch. I can't remember the name of the ranch, but he got quite a few acres, quite a few hundred acres there, and to form the community of Mahoney. And just like you say, they had a school, they had a gymnasium, and people lived, there, and they call it Mahoney Circle there, and it was quite a thriving community at one time or another, and that's just like what you said. That's what we're trying to do is, keep this heritage alive, this memory.
Well, the date that you're going to do it this year is Sunday, June the 9th.
That's correct.
And what time will?
10:45. Show up in the morning, and we'll start. We'll be singing. We have Lou. What's his
Mr. Tomasic.
Tomasic. I never can. I don't know. He's from Fleece Flower guy named Tomasic. Anyhow, Lou Tomasic. He's going to lead us in songs, get us into church and everything. And we, like I say, we have a program lined up, and one of our guest is going to be Ace Hamner. Ace is, you probably know Ace from, he's a
great singer.
Oh yeah, well, he was a member of the Fighting Texas Aggie Singing Cadets. The Singing Cadets started back in 1893. They're celebrating their 125th anniversary this year, and they have sang all over the world, to be quite honest. Australia, Europe, and they've sang for presidents. They sang at Carnegie Hall, and they're quite famous and everything. And Ace is a member of that, and so we're real tickled to death that Ace is going to be out there and sing for us.
That will be great. So Sunday, June the 9th at Mahoney, and so 10:45 the music will start. There'll be a service about history.
Oh yes. This is the thing about it. I'm going to give the history of the Mahoney, and plus the program. Basically, normally we have a speaker and everything, but this year we're just going to walk around with microphones. We're going to tell stories that you probably heard before. But some of them, you may or may not recognize. We have to fertilize them every once in a while to make them interesting and everything. But we'll be telling stories and everything, and really, looking forward to telling the history of some of the stories that we have from our memories of Mahoney.
Well, the public's invited.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And you do have indoor plumbing and air conditioning.
Oh, yeah, of course. I was glad you pointed that out. Yes, we have an indoor potty now, and then we also have air conditioning. So used to, the homecoming at one time was in July, and it got so hot and everything like that. And of course, we didn't have we didn't have indoor plumbing, and we didn't have air conditioning at that time. Well, we changed it to June, the second Sunday in June. And so now then we have air conditioning and indoor potty, and so we're going to have all kind of food, so there's no reason why not to come out and enjoy it and listen to some of the stories.
And you've got a covered area out there for the...
Yes, we have a pavilion. We're just doing all kind of good stuff and everything. Like we have a pavilion in case it does rain, which it has been known to rain in Mahoney, I'm telling you.
That's what got me to asking a little bit more about the history of that land out there. So you've got a hay meadow that's flooded. I asked about your dad, L.L. Voss, and he left Mahoney because of flooding.
Yes, Daddy got flooded out 3 years in a row. He was a cotton farmer, and he got flooded out 3 years in a row, and ended up moving to Dallas and everything like that. He hated leaving Hopkins County, but when you're trying to make a living as a farmer, and it floods like that 3 years in a row, all you're doing is going in debt. And he lived in Dallas for almost 30 years, and then he moved back to Hopkins County, but then lived in Sulphur Springs.
And what did he do in Dallas?
He worked for Dallas Power and Light. He was a machine operator and everything, and he enjoyed it. But his main love was and always was Hopkins County and Mahoney.
Well, I was happy to know L.L. and also your mother, Louise, through Wesley Methodist.
Oh yeah.
For later years.
Oh yeah. Mama lived until she was 93 years old, and she was always full of it. I tell you right now.
I just don't know where you got it from.
She enjoyed life. She really did.
Well, the Mahoney Cemetery, of course, is old as well and begun in 1901, did you say?
1901, the Mahoney Cemetery was started and everything like that. We have quite a few people that are buried there, families and everything. And that's one of the things that we do is what we're going to encourage the people to do is to walk out among the graves. And one of the things we do is that, and Uncle Bud started this, George Mitchell. He used to always put out flags for the veterans. We always have marked the veterans' graves with flags, and that's one thing that we're carrying on that tradition of marking the graves with flags, and plus they have a lot of the veterans' tombstones, or markers, I should say, that tell about when they served, like in World War I or World War II and Vietnam and so forth.
Well, that's a wonderful time to be part of Mahoney, even if it's not your home community. I feel like that towards Riley Springs. Get involved in some of the communities of Hopkins County. There's so much history there, and you'll find a place that you can...
Oh, yeah, and you'll find some good coconut pie, too.
Well, I wanted to bring out, back in 1901, when the cemetery was started and people were burying their family there, graves had to be dug by hand.
Yes, they did. But they didn't have tractors back then, nobody could afford a tractor and everything like that, so you did whatever is necessary. Somebody passed away, and we had to go out there and dig that grave and everything. And
a lot of times neighbors would help the family or pitch in and do it for them.
That's the thing about it, is that the Mahoney, that's one of the things, that the heritage of the Mahoney community is that everybody helped everybody. I mean, if you needed help getting your hay in or getting your cows in, if your cows got out or whatever, you had people that would always there willing to help you and everything. That's one reason why the community, we have had 70 homecomings, is because of the heritage and the history of the people helping each other and everything in the family. It's one of the things that we do is that I point out who we have a contest, who's the oldest there, and of course my mother-in-law Merle Lucas, she's got that thing wrapped up. She's been doing it she's 96 going on 97, so she usually takes that, and then we'll have the one that comes the farthest, and we have people. I know of people that this year my sister's coming from Jacksonville, Florida, and we have people come from Louisiana, from Oklahoma. We just have you just can't believe how popular the Mahoney Cemetery really is. And then we have, and one of the things I do up there on the microphone is that I'll get, anybody that's kin to the Voss family, stand up. So the Voss family stands up and everything like that. I'm talking about cousins and relatives and everything. Okay, anybody that's kin to the Mitchell family, stand up. Well, half of the Mitchell family stands up, and they were the ones that stood up for the Voss family, and that's one of the things.
How do you ever decide who has the most family there?
Well, we don't. It's just one of those type of things. We just get everybody, to get to the point to where that's the reason we decided. That's the reason the kids are like they are, because you never know who you're kin to. You may be, your kissing cousin there. You didn't know you had a cousin there. That's your fourth cousin and everything. But everybody's kin to everybody. That's one of the things that I try to point out, is that everybody's either kin to everybody or everybody's willing to help everybody, out there in that community.
This is true. Well, there's something else, and I attended one of these when you have the meal afterwards.
Yeah.
Then the family brings the food pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
So they kind of decide the family menu they're going to have.
That's the thing about, you just bring whatever you'd like to bring and everything, fix the dish. We have covered dishes. We have people make homemade. My mother-in-law, that was her big claim to fame. She always made a coconut and a chocolate meringue pie. And my sister, Jackie, always, one of the first things after we say amen for the blessing, for the food, my sister would go over and get a piece of Oma's coconut pie, because she said, if I don't get a piece first, she said, it'll be all gone by the time I get ready to get some,
That's right.
But the thing about it is that like I say, we just bring food, and you just refuse. You go over there. That's what you do, is you wander around the tables and everything, and just pick out what you would like to eat and everything like that. And that way you visit with. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that we enjoy, is that you sit there eating a piece of coconut pie, and you're visiting with a family that brought the coconut pie. And pretty soon you get to telling stories. And of course, the first liar doesn't have a chance, and and so.
What's that old saying about, if you make yourself at home, or if you're not at home, you ought to be, or something like that?
There you go. That's right. Something like that. But anyhow, we enjoy it. It's just a real good time, and we're probably going to set up a 42 table. I don't know where anybody knows. Some of these kids don't know what 42 is. We're going to try to have some kids, teach these kids what 42 is and everything like that, or dominoes, and so we just encourage it. We want this younger generation to appreciate their heritage, and that's what we're trying our best to do, and so that they'll come back next year for the 71st homecoming. They'll bring their their kids and grandkids and everything.
Well, and it won't be too long until some of these new ones will have to step up and continue the
that's
traditions themselves.
Yeah, Daddy did that. Daddy was the master of ceremonies for 38 years. I've been doing it for about 32 years, and then, one of these days I'll have to pass it on to somebody.
Well, we got just enough time for you to tell 1 minute a big event. Today, is it? Or tonight with your grandkids?
Oh, we have twin granddaughters that are graduating today. Yes, as a matter of fact, yes. They were voted as two prettiest girls in the class of 600. And now we're going to McKinney for they're graduating, and actually they're going to be going off and into the world. They have both got scholarships at Harding University. And
breaking a Texas A&M tradition, though.
Oh, yes. Well, like I say, their granddaddy went to A&M. Their daddy went to A&M. Their mother got her master's degree from A&M while she was chasing my oldest son. And then their uncle went to A&M, and then now they're going to Harding University. So needless to say, I give them a bad time.
Well, thank you for coming in and sharing with us about the Mahoney Homecoming.
Mahoney Homecoming, okay. That's Sunday, June the 9th in Mahoney, and be there. Free food, all right?
Thank you, Jerry Voss.
In sports, Wildcats football coach and athletic director Greg Owens is a big believer in the Edge, the annual summer conditioning program. And the Edge returns to being a free program run by Wildcats coaches after last year's one-year tie with Michael Johnson Performance. Coach Owens said Michael Johnson Performance is getting out of the high school business to do other things. The Edge will begin its 6-week run starting Monday, June 10th. It will take place Mondays through Thursdays through July 18th. The Edge for boys and girls entering grades 9 through 12 will be taking place from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m. In something new this year, the UIL is now allowing coaches to have an additional 2 hours per week per athlete to concentrate on skill work. That emphasis will take place each day after the Edge from 10 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. There will also be a 3-week middle school Edge Mondays through Thursdays beginning July 1st and running until July 18th from 9:30 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. each day. They too will have skill work time each day from 10:30 a.m. until 11 a.m. Coach Owens said athletes these days need to stay in good condition 24/7. He says that helps the team move forward faster in the fall when everybody is in shape. Coach Owens also said he feels the Edge participation prevents injuries. He said coaches post an Edge participation board and they note who is showing up and who is not. Coach Owens said the goal is to get kids to show up during the Edge and get into shape. Wildcats baseball coach Jared Hammock will be offering his annual baseball camp next week, Tuesday through Thursday, inside the multi-purpose building. There will be a camp for kids entering 1st through the 3rd grades each day from 9 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. Camp for kids entering the 4th through the 9th grades will take place each day from 10:30 a.m. until noon. Cost of baseball camp is $50. Registration forms are available at the school district website at www.ssisd.net. For more information, you can contact Coach Hammock at jhammock@ssisd.net or at 903-439-4657. And that's Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. Thanks for watching, and so long, everybody.